Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this infinity scarf here, or this cowl, or a scarf, whatever you choose to make out of it, because you can make it as long or as short as you want. The yarn is super pretty. See the sparkle in that yarn? Blues are very pretty. Gorgeous yarn. Very pretty stitch. Very easy stitch once you get the hang of it. Those shells and those chains. This is about 6 inches wide. Of course, you can adjust your chain count to make yours as big or as small as you want. You can not sew it together and make it a really long scarf. You can make this shorter to make it a short cowl. You can make it longer and sew it together and make it a long infinity scarf. You can do whatever you want. Whatever your heart desires, you can make this into. Very pretty. So, let's go ahead and get started on this. Alright, for this project, I am using a Mandala Sparkle. It is a lightweight number 3, 328 yards, almost 100% acrylic, minus that a little bit of polyester there, and some of the metallic. Now, you do not have to use this brand. Any lightweight 3 yarn will work. And you could also use a medium 4 weight if you wanted to. I think that would be fine also. But the color of the Mandala Sparkle that I've used is called Aquarius. And then I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. And as always, I just want to take a second to ask you not to forget to subscribe to my channel. And when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that little bell by the subscribe button there. That way you'll always be notified whenever I put on another new video. And if you enjoy this video, you like this way the scarf looks, if you could give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. That really helps me out. Alright, now this stitch is done in a multiple of 6 plus 2 in case you want to make your scarf bigger or smaller than mine, or you want to use this stitch for something else. But if you want to follow along with me, I chained 38. So once you get your chain of 38 made, we're going to put 1 single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and then we're going to work and we're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch for the length of the chain. Just like that. 1 single in every stitch until you get to the end of the row. Okay, once you make it to the end of row 1, you should have a total of 37 stitches now. So what we're going to do is chain 1 and turn our work. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so we're going to single crochet right here into this very first stitch, right back into it, like that. And now we're going to work a chain of 5. And then I'm going to skip 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to single crochet into the next. Just like that. Again, I'm going to chain 5. I'm going to skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single into the next, and that's what I'm going to repeat until I get to the end of the row. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single into the next. One more time, chain 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single into the next. I'm almost to the end, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single into the next, chain 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have one stitch here left after you skip your 5. Go ahead and single crochet into that stitch, and that will end row 2. And as you can see, you'll have 6 how to count it real quick, 6 of these chain 5 spaces. Now rows 3 and 4 are the repeat rows for the rest of the scarf, so it's just a 2-row repeat. So what we're going to do now is we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We are going to do a double crochet right back into this very first stitch. So we're on row 3. Remember, row 3 and 4 are the repeat rows. So double crochet right back into that very first stitch, and then I'm going to work a chain of 2, and then I'm going to single crochet right into the very first chain space, just right through it, single crochet. Now this single crochet right here, I'm going to work up a shell stitch. So I'm going to work 4 double crochets into this single crochet, just 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to single crochet into the next chain space, just like that. And now I'm going to do a chain of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to single crochet into the next chain space. So we're just skipping the single crochet here, going right to the next chain space and to single crochet right through it. Now we're going to work a shell into the next single crochet. So right here, 4 double crochets into that single crochet. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next chain space. So we're going to kind of repeat what we've been doing now. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip this single crochet and single crochet into the next chain space, and then in the next single crochet we're going to work a shell. So 4 double crochets into that shell. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet right here into this next chain space. Now we're going to end kind of the same way that we begun over here. So we're going to chain 2 and then double crochet right here into this single crochet. And that'll end row 3. And you'll have 3 of those shells. See them right there? Now we're going to start row 4. And we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch, but we are going to single crochet right back into that very first stitch. Single crochet. And we're going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go over here to our first shell. And there are 4 double crochets into that shell. We are going to single crochet in between the second and the third shell. So I'm going to pull them apart and we're going to go right into that space and single crochet. Not into the top of the stitches, right through those two, like that. And then we're going to chain 5, and we're going to single crochet into the next chain space. And then we're going to chain 5. And again, we are going to single crochet in between the second and the third double crochet of this shell. So if you pull them apart, right there is where you need to go, right through that space. Remember, we're not working into the top of the stitches. We're going right in between them. And we work a single crochet like that. And now we're just going to repeat. Chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 5, and single crochet in between the second and the third double crochet of this last shell. So right there. Chain 5. And we're going to end by single crocheting right here into this last double crochet here on the end. So go right into the top of that stitch and single crochet. That'll end a row 4, and you should have 6 chain spaces again. So that's what it is now. It's a repeat of rows 3 and 4. So I'll go ahead and do it one more time. I know it can maybe look a little confusing, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be just flying by. So what I'm going to do for row 5 is I'm going to repeat row 3, which is the shell stitch row. So we start off by chaining 1 and turning our work. Remember, I'm on row 5 and I'm just repeating row 3. Double crochet into that very first stitch. And then we chain 2. And then we're going to single crochet right here into the first chain space. And then we're going to shell into the next single crochet, which just happens to be on top of the next shell. Shells always stay lined up. So we work 4 double crochets there into that single crochet. Single crochet into this next chain space, and then we're going to work a chain of 5 and single crochet into the next chain space, and now we're going to work a shell because it's on top of this shell into the single crochet. So we're going to go right into the single crochet and work 4 double crochets, which is what our shell is. Single crochet into the next chain space, and then we chain 5, and then we're just going to repeat this until we get to the end of row 5. Single crochet into the next chain space, and then we're going to shell into the next single crochet because it's on the top of our next shell. So shell right into that single crochet. So our shell is 4 double crochets. Single crochet into the next chain space. And now we're going to end this, remember, the same way we began it. So we're going to chain 2 and double crochet right down here into this the single crochet from the previous round, and that'll end row 5, and again you'll have 3 shells. So row 6 is a repeat of row 4, which is the chain stitch row. So we chain 1 and we turn, and then we single crochet right back into that very first stitch, and then we chain 5, and then into our first shell in the middle between our second and third double crochet, we single crochet, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 5, single crochet in between the second and third double crochet of our next shell, chain 5, single crochet into our next chain space, chain 5, single crochet in between our second and third double crochet, chain 5, and end by single crocheting into the top of this double crochet here at the end. And again, you'll have 6 of the chain spaces. Apologize if that was terribly boring. I just wanted to make sure I did it twice so everybody could get the hang of it. So all it is a repeat of rows 2 and 3, and you can kind of stretch it out as you go, which will straighten them chains out a little bit and make them lay properly. But that's it. That's what it starts to look like. So you just want to repeat rows 3 and 4 till you get your scarf or your cowl or your infinity scarf, whatever you're choosing to make, as long as you want it to be. All right, now remember, you do yours however long that you want it. You wanted a long scarf, that's fine. You wanted a short scarf, short cowl, long cowl, however many rows that you want. But I did a total, if you count the shell, I'm just going to count the shells. The shell rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A total of 52 of the shell rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. But you can do as many as you want. Now I'm going to sew mine together. You don't have to if you don't want to. But if you want to, you want to stop on a chain row like this. And then what you want to do after you finish, and you get it as long as you want to, you just want to go ahead and tie it off. And leave a long tail to sew it together. I'm going to use a yarn needle to sew mine together. So, you want your piece, you want the wrong side of the shells folded in half like this. And you can see the wrong side of the shells are facing outward on both sides. That way, after we sew it together, we can flip it right side out. The seam will be on the inside, and the right side of the shells will be on the outside. So I'm just going to take it now, and I'm just going to neatly sew my ends together. Just as neatly as you can. I'm going to go in a back and forth motion. After I get this knot out. Oh my gosh. What happened? Okay. You just sew it together as evenly as you can, back and forth. Through the chain, through this row of single crochet, and then through the chain space on the back. And I'm going to come back this way. If you prefer to go over, like kind of like whip stitching it or whatever, you can do that too. But I'm going through the chain. Do your best as you can to get it as even as possible. It's not going to be perfect. No one expects it to be. But I'm just going to do this until I get to the other side. And then when you flip it right side out, see, you won't see the seam. The seam will be on the inside. So I'm going to keep going until I get mine all sewed up. Alright, I got mine all sewed up. Now I'm going to flip it right side out. And then your seam is on the inside. And you'll want to put that to the back of your neck. Look at that. Ain't that a beauty? That yarn is pretty. Very, very pretty. I think it would look pretty in any yarn though. It's a very beautiful stitch. Very nice. It's gorgeous. So you can wear it long like this if you want. You can fold it up, make it a short cowl. However you want to do it. But remember, you can also leave it unsewed, make it a long scarf if you want. But that's it. Very nice, lightweight spring scarf. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You know, and when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that little bell. You hit that little bell. That way you'll always be notified whenever I put on a new video. And also, you can always check me out on Facebook, where if you make this or anything else, you can post a picture to my Facebook page, because I'd really like to see it. The link to that is below in the description box. And check out my other tutorials. I got hundreds and hundreds of crochet tutorials. Look up on the screen right now and you'll see a picture of my face. Just click on that if you haven't subscribed yet. That'll get you subscribed. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day.